So if you are neurodivergent, don't be like me and don't run yourself into the ground trying to manage everything. I've been really sick for the past 10 days or so, and that really took me out of everything. I've gotten better over the years with basic things like feeding myself during the times of crisis and cleaning myself and not staying in bed all day. But it's been really difficult. And I still had to do some stuff which I wish I didn't have to do. On one of these days, I spent 5 hours in the emergency room with this acute pain, which they couldn't comprehend. There's apparently no infection and there is some inflammation happening, but inflammation can be a psychosomatic thing, that's for sure. I mean, me and my body are pretty good at getting inflamed. And I'm sure if we go the socialist route and the communist route, one day we're going to be able to diagnose psychosomatic pain and we'll understand the body mind connection better. Because now we understand nothing about how the way we perceive the world and the way the stimuli affects our nervous system, how it all ends up, piling up, with some people being pretty severe and suffering very severe pain and other people not being affected much. So one day the science is going to be there to explain all of this, but now we just have to make do. So I've made the same mistake I've made many a time, stretched myself too thin and couldn't handle anything. So now I'm experiencing terrible bouts of anxiety because of regular things like phone calls and responding to messages and talking to people, and it's not fun and it's not productive and it's not a good time of the year for me to be sick like this, but the smallest things set me off and I just sit there and bawl my freaking eyes out. And I have a hard time walking and I have all the pain. And a very common thing that you may notice as well if you're neurodivergent is that in times of distress, in times of crisis, you will start devising a new mask for yourself because you will feel like the old mask is no longer working, it's no longer helping to keep up the appearances, so you will delve into devising a new mask, which is going to be more effective than the previous one. So that's what I've been doing apparently for the past couple of months. With all of the hectic activity that I've undertaken, I've tried to build a new me, which, I mean, can be helpful and maybe it will end up helping me and other people, but you've got to be on the alert when this happens. When you're trying to make a new mask, that usually means something's up and you're probably burned out and you probably need to rest and realize that you can't handle something in your life. So I also chopped my hair off myself because I couldn't handle my long hair anymore, and that was a good decision, I think. I wanted to just shave a part of my head and I decided to wait. Maybe I'll do that later. We'll see. But some kind of drastic changes to your appearance, like tattoos and, hair change and new clothes, any kind of image manipulation can really be a signal to neurodivergent people that they've reached a certain point of possibly no return, so they have to watch out and they have to ask for help. And this help has to be very tangible. It's not just listen to me cry about my problems. It has to be, can you handle my life for me for a few months or maybe at least a few weeks? So just be aware that you are going to experience those peaks of activity where you will feel like you can handle it all and you can be a brand new person and you will never burn out again because now you're superhuman and whatnot. But that's not a good idea. I used to think in the past that I may have some kind of manic episodes, but no, I don't. I'm just a special snowflake that doesn't want to accept its identity still and keeps trying to shapeshift and become this perfect version of herself which doesn't exist and shouldn't exist. I just need to learn to live the way I am, and so do you. So I have some videos that I pre-filmed months ago, but I can't make myself post them. That's another good sign. If you find activities that used to do easily difficult or scary or dangerous, they feel wrong again, that's a sign that you've got to take a step back and re-examine and analyze what's happening and think, well, what is it? And what can I do that's not as invasive as what I have been doing? Because apparently what I have been doing is causing distress. And another big thing is, don't set yourself up for certain dates and don't be like, oh, I must be well by this certain date because there's this important event that takes place. Like, no. Even if it is an actually very important event, if you're like this, you won't be able to handle it. You're going to experience a meltdown or a shutdown or something else, and right before the event or during the event, and it's not going to be any good. So don't try to plan your recovery. Sometimes you just have to wait and give yourself some time to process all of the stimuli that you've exposed yourself over the past weeks or months or years, and just roll with it. So I hope that this video finds you well and that you are taking care of yourselves, and that one day I can go back to normal videos about communism. But for now, peace out.